he fell off really quickly. And I mean, it was still being banned here and again, but it was being banned because it was still a strong position 4. And that's the kind of little flexibility they do kind of have here, is that this OD could be still a position 4. It might not even be mid OD. I mean, you got the Void Spirit though, so it's kind of cemented the fact this is probably the mid Void versus Death Prophet, but they have that flexibility on the side of Arkosh if they really want it.
At the same time, SG Esports, they can still put these heroes wherever they want, and it has to be. I'm trying to figure out where this lane is going to end up. It might just be a 4 OD. That's what makes the most sense to me. But an OD Tide lane, it makes sense. OD's still one of the best heroes versus Abaddon. You put him under whenever his ulti pops. It allows you that secondary go once you get the Ags as well, where you put the person you want to kill under, and you also put the person that's going to try to save them under, and then you're going to do a lot of damage with that ultimate. But we don't see this hero picked a lot nowadays for a very good reason. I'm very skeptical.
Yeah, it's definitely a very scary pick overall. The Meteor Hammer combo is still the overall build, I believe, for OD, even if it's the 4 or the mid or any
It's
other
all the same. All
weird.
the same.
Yeah, that is the best part about the OD, is that he has one specific build. It's kind of hard to screw it up. And I mean, people will find ways to screw up the very straightforward build for an OD. It's out there, but yeah,
We might even see it as a 5 OD.
It is
With
possible.
the Mirana Tidehunter lane, it just feels like, why would you want to mess up that lane? And it would be nice to sync up the two heroes, as you do just get to do Astral into Arrow, which I'm sure we'll see whenever they go out onto the map, them trying to get first blood in that fashion. But so at the same time, SG Esports are incredibly flexible. It's a good ban. It's a good
that was definitely the last little hero I was thinking of, because we were talking about it in last game. SG Esports actually first phase banned the Alchemist, whereas this game they actually saved it for last. And that might have been the build-up that Arkosh was going for, because you look at Void and he kind of just needs 1 to 2 items to really be going off, and Tidehunter or Blink Dagger, and Alchemist would have been able to be that hero to secure all that farm. And it's such a perfect ban for this game on that market.
Maybe Arkosh, maybe they pick up the Bloodseeker. I'm really trying to figure out what Pale Horse could play in his hero pool that's going to feel great. And that's a new one.
Okay, I have seen a Luna. All right, because I actually was watching replays yesterday on the BTS stream, and Luna was actually in a game. I do not think they won, though. And this game kind of feels that same sort of way, because Luna can be countered really easily.
And it feels like can't SG just pick... I guess they won't want to pick Troll into OD. Maybe that's another reason that they took it out, but I'm not sure. This Luna is a little bit scary. Couldn't they also pick Slark as well? I feel like that's in that same vein where Tidehunter will have a pretty poor time if he's able to... He just has to lane versus a Slark then, but they've got a lot of time left. SG can really think this one through, but Luna.
I mean, what this
Luna
is
OD, huh?
Yeah, Luna OD doesn't feel right, but the flexibility in Arkosh's draft is that they could either go full physical or they could go full magic build. But I think now on Luna, you do a light mix of both.
What's the shard? The shard is very good. It makes it work basically like Lightning Bolt, where it's a ground target instead.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and it like extends the range as a result of it.
Exactly. I mean, SG, they could most likely wouldn't want to run the Bloodseeker themselves, but they still have the Morphling if they want to go to that avenue. It's a little bit troublesome versus the OD, just because you do have that burst, and maybe this OD is just a deny pick, trying to remove some of the SG heroes that they do really enjoy playing in that safe lane, but still, I want to give the edge to SG just on the backbone of every single other hero they have. And we've seen in these past few games, in the games played today, that Abaddon is a very strong hero. Well, there we go.
All right. Well, maybe taking a page out of the Book of Fear. Looks like SG Esports will end up running the Lifestealer. This is actually a pretty good response, because Luna doesn't really have a great way to deal with it, and Tidehunter is the same kind of story in the laning phase. Lifestealer is pretty good, and we've seen Lifestealer picked up in these kinds of lineups before, where it's been it's not usually Tidehunter, it's the it's Underlord. Like, iconically, Lifestealer is better against the Underlord, is better against the Centaur, and any of those other big beefy lanes. Timbersaw is like a 50-50. Timbersaw is still moderately okay against the Lifestealer, because he's got the armor gain that comes from that and the regen, but Tidehunter is one of those heroes that has a little bit of a harder time dealing with this lifestealer in the lane, and this is a very good safe pick.
And swapping it over, it will be a Void Spirit 5, keeping the Gremlin Crow lane pretty standard. And Ghost of Belial does have to be careful now that you don't really have time to skill up the Rage. He does need a lot of levels to kind of exist down there. And laning with an Abaddon, if you both get Anchor Smashed, you both are really quite upset. But they'll probably do normal stuff. And in fact, it's even better this time around versus the Mirana because you can just stand on top of the range creep. You just Aphotic Shield whoever gets arrowed, and you won't be taking too much damage, but still, I feel like this Lifestealer pick feels very good if you are an SG.
Yeah, I imagine they'll kind of just be moderately uncontested. I mean, they'll have to do rotates early if they want to end up taking care of it, but you don't have the ability to expend those rotations because it's just all of your other lanes are going to need it for the side of Arkosh. Like, you're...
Okay.
No.
What?
No, that's not what it is. SG is the one that paused.
I see.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, no, that's actually Lifestealer drawing on the map. Okay. I'm just
maybe
maybe they're getting
NA
ready
pause
for it.
talking about whether or not they want to try lane versus the Luna, perhaps, as the Mars does do all right versus the Tidehunter and force a try if you try, but still not entirely sure about that. But with the OD going mid, I can't imagine they're too upset. It's a very decent lane for 40R, and I feel like he really will be able to make these early game rotations. And they do have good team fight on Arkosh, but so this Luna, it feels strange. It still feels strange. And starting with the magic stick as well, maybe she is preempting a try v try situation coming out.
I mean, this is the more suitable game to run that try. Tavo doesn't really need levels to kind of like overscale. And it was I keep on going back to it. It's just like Luna just doesn't BTS what? Get Crow Zone going for these?
I don't know what the
Oh,
Crow
wait,
Zone
I know
is.
what it is.
I'm terrified. You see the eyes. You see the eyes drawn on the map, all watching, ever watching on Arkosh. The game will get started.
Yep, looks like it's just eyes this time. But, Slacks, if you are in chat, if BTS would approve, I'll take those scenes and use them. But I highly doubt it that they would approve of them. They're very weird stuff. I'll have to show you what I'm talking about, ET, later.
Okay.
They're PG. Don't worry.
PG Crow Zone. Very nice.
Well, I think so. Oh, it's been a while. The last sacrificial cup hasn't happened for quite some time.
And here we go. It's in the exact same spot as the previous game. This level 1 engagement.
They're like, they're gonna come up here again.
Well,
and indeed, they are. Little engagement going on. Arrow will land, and this turns Arkosh back, but at the same time, it's a hard position for them to take. The Remnant will land as well. But with the aggression that they've got, I mean, Arkosh will just leave for the steal our play. Ah, I see. We're doing the same thing from last game.
Well, and now you have to be careful if you're the Lifestealer. They will finally rotate to the top lane and take some of these away, but still, that's very funny.
I mean, if you do the same play, same time, in a different game, it's probably going to result in the same thing, and that's what they were hoping on, but Arkosh unable to get that double pickup early again.
And they scout the Tide bottom. They see that something weird's going on here.
Yep. They got this ward that gives them that perfect sight.
And see Lifestealer's walking right now. He doesn't want to get tri lane. They know what's up.
Yeah, he's going to start walking back. Luckily, he's not one of the slowest heroes. He's got 325, so he might be there at least for the beginning of the creep wave. You do see that Lifestealer wants the Theothiker to block. He's going to start doing that as a result. While in the bot lane, KJ was trying to do the same thing.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to have some very sad offlaners this game. We've seen this happen once before in this tournament, but it's very not fun where they're both going to get these free waves, or the first few waves for free, but you see KJ TP up here. Somebody's got to get this XP, and he's going to try and get as much as he can. But this top lane is Arkosh territory right now.
Yep, and you do see that Tavo is now here. Actually walks into the Remnant anyway. But yeah, this is going to be some very sad off lane at the start here. Arkosh kind of coming out on top of it, to be honest, as Gremlo will still have the XP advantage for that little while. Actually, I say that Costabile is severely ahead because Theolacor was in the back lines. I mean, Costabile, it's still the basically free game for him.
Yep, and the only scary part is when you are these low levels, and that's why I thought they would have liked the Mirana versus it. He's going to get Ghoul Frenzy, you're going to get the Gush, and maybe there would have been some right clicks coming out, but instead, similar to the Fear game, we're just going to see Costabile be relatively uncontested, and then Theliacor is going to be able to make moves on the map, as he doesn't really need to babysit this Medusa that we had in the previous game. He can really make some big plays.
Yeah, as soon as he's level 2, I imagine he'll just go ahead and take a little break from this lane, let Costabile do what he wants, and then be able to rotate on this mid. But it looks like it is actually still going to be the OD mid, despite the fact that 4DR just has a much stronger advantage. You can kind of see it already here. Just able to apply so much damage to Canis Vulpus.
And you do need to be careful. He is going to rush for this Meteor Hammer, and that's his timing, but you have better attack range, you've got better base damage, and you've got a nuke in the wave that you don't need to put him under. You can right-click him while you're doing all of that, and it really is obnoxious for the OD.
But I imagine Arkosh supports will be able to rotate early, hence why you end up picking up this Mirana hero like that anyway.
Yeah, precisely. And whenever you see Theliacor, I think like we see with a lot of fours, we'll see the sort of mirror matchup, and nice pick on Gremlo's Courier. He got the salve out, but this is going to be a rough lane. Tavo's having a little bit more of a fun time, even though he's playing versus 3 heroes up here.
I mean, Mars has that little bit of more survivability in his kit. Like he can kind of just spear, but yeah, he actually is going to hit by the Remnant. The arrow will land, and Pale Horse will be the first one to claim the first blood.
And that's what they've been looking for the past 3 minutes. They just want to try to catch him out. He doesn't even have a lane to go back to, as looks like there was only a single pull that got off from KJ, so it looks like Pale Horse will be able to farm up very freely and continue the Mars's bad game.
He has a TP, right? Yeah, okay. I'm like, he's not TPing in. What's going on here? Taking a sweet time.
I think he was waiting for the... No, I guess range-ups did come up. Maybe he was waiting for that, but it would have come up almost 30 seconds ago, so not sure, but... Nobody making runs for the runes just yet, but 40R definitely wants this.
Top lane. They do spear Void Spirit to the tree for the time being, but yeah, there's not much going on. It's a very slow, low-impact game at the moment, but SG will have the first rotation for these runes, at least the first visible one, while Mirana is still trying to make his way over there. Here we are. The runes are going to be regen for top.
Perfect for
4DR. Yeah, that's the best rune you could have gotten. And with this time being bought, by the way, Tavo might be going for this kill on the GOAT here. KJ, unfortunately, not level 2, so he's not able to throw out the Mistcoil to confirm the kill on GOAT and might actually be traded off instead. Arrow goes through, it will be whiffed, but since he had to move that way, he will go down. But it will allow the full salve to go out into Tavo.
It was a great play from SG as well. They were really just going because they knew that the Mirana was most likely making the same rotation towards the runes, even though he was a little bit late. But at the same time, giving Costabile this soul lane versus Gremlo, I mean, 27-11 to 12-1, he really hasn't been able to do anything, and Costabile is laning fantastically bottom.
I mean, it's going back to the original point at this. There's nothing you could really do to counteract this lifestealer, and I mean, I hate to just keep on beating the bush and say going back to the Fear game, but you know, you saw how effective Fear was able to control that game with the farm that he had at that point. And they don't really want it to get to that point because that was literally the freest game they could have gotten. The Ravage is a much better counteractive ability than I believe they had in that game. And, I mean, Luna can do quite a bit of damage in there. KJ, though, they will be able to find this kill on Go. And they find Thorlicker actually in the lane at the same time. Or on the sidelines there. 2 for 1.
Interesting.
Oh, double wards as well.
But during all this time, Tava's just been last hitting it. It didn't even feel good for Pale Horse to make that rotation. He is still sitting, you know, second only to the Lifestealer in last hits, but still, you're losing out on a little bit of XP, and every second that Tavo ekes closer to that 6, he's going to get scarier and scarier.
Yeah, the arena is going to be
More
the
runes.
big surprise. Yeah, it is the rune fight
Ooh,
time.
top.
It is going to be top. It's Arcane Rune this time, but 4DR is going to go ahead and drop the Exorcism as they know that Goat has no method of escape. In fact, Goat is level 3. Canis Vulpus still level 5 as well. Arrow goes through. It is going to whiff time-wise because it was definitely right on top of the hero otherwise.
And unfortunately, he did lose his cart for the 5-minute wave, but they're going to be able to put a lot of pressure. The OD is very low. He's going to get earned up, but this is not good.
Last of the raindrop will go.
And a lot of damage on this T1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Weird that the tooltip still displays that he's the Obsidian Destroyer. Well, speaking of which, though, OD is going to be in trouble here. He's going to be lifted up, and Ping Abuser is going to be thrown out there as Gremlo throwing out a little bit of BM there. XD from Tavo, but KJ will be burning away from this urn. Crow will be at least able to make a trade there. But you are still losing your OD.
And at the same time, bottom, Gremlo tried for the solo kill on a Costa Bile, but he survived on a sliver of HP and just went over to creep, completely healed up. And with this Javelin, Gremlo is feeling really sad. With the second level in Feast and the second level of Ghoul Frenzy, now you've gotten over the level dependency hump that is Lifestealer, and it's feeling harder and harder for Gremlo to have a game.
Oh, lift. Yeah, speaking of
Doesn't
which,
help either.
Gremlo. Yeah, you see it's going to be right here. There's enough damage, but Thorko will at least finish it off. Got hit by the anchor smash, so Caspilo was not really able to pump in enough damage. The bolt itself will finish it off.
Oh, and Tavo, a freebie.
Yep, he actually gets it on Crow as well, so that's a very good target to end up getting it on. Delay these
nice little
positions for
streak.
earn charges. Yeah.
Oh, in mid. The issue is, I think you want the Rana to be here right now. They're going to have a nice, cute Aether Remnant out of the banishment, but
Yep. But
yeah,
that's
he's
it.
dead.
Yeah, Goat will go down for this. A little bit of miscommunication on Arkosh's part, I believe, because Canis Vulpus saw the regen rune and just was tunnel vision straight towards it.
Moni secured the rune, but okay, a good kill on Tavo.
Ooh, there it is. Is it?
Oh?
Question mark?
He's
He's
he can
juking
cut
around.
2 trees.
He's juking.
Oh, come
he's
on.
quelled. Oh my gosh, he's
Oh.
getting out of this. He's got another quelling blade. He's gone. They don't get Tavo. They drop the scan as well. They don't know where he is. He's gone. Yep, there it is. There it is.
Not even a poorly
Oh, please
played.
type in something.
That's so sad.
And they get the bot tower in the meantime. They still looks like we'll trade tower to tower here, but with no free kill off of the tower either. That's severely demoralizing.
Well, and they're trading the towers now. Lifestealers, he's worked towards this Maelstrom, but he has it in only 500 gold. Kosapila we've seen this before as well. He's done
Mid.
this on Bloodseeker, where he's just accelerating so quickly.
Oh, this is the Leshrac play right here. Just stand in one spot. I mean, even if he's imprisoned, it's gonna burn into the tower anyway.
He can't even contest it because Tavo's just there immediately to try and get that arena, put even more pressure. And they do need to be careful. The Tide Ravage is here, but well, this is
They do
scary.
Run in, and they will at least get hit with the remnant here. But the arena gets dedicated immediately. Void Spirit able to break it off, but Goat to be lifted up and burned away with these ghost spirits. Caspile is trying to go for Canis Vulpus here. Pale Horse does not have his ult. He used it top.
Ravage.
They will Ravage, however, to confirm the kill on the Thelicore. They're going to go for more, though. They got the stun. The spear will latch, and KJ trying to finish off Gremlo, but only level 3. Doesn't actually have the method of escape here. Now we see Tavo in a very precarious situation here, but Crow, level 5, not really able to run him down that effectively, and Tavo quite a beefy boy already.
And it was a little bit of a wild play. They were behind the enemy team's T2, not even 10 minutes into the game, but still, you get Ravage, you only lose both of your supports, and it's not bad for Arkosh, but it definitely doesn't feel the best. The good news is Pale Horse, with his Mask of Menace, will be able to farm these Ancients, but you see SG already have really good vision here. I don't think these are blocking anything, but if they're able to kill Pale Horse even once, it's going to feel very, very bad.
Yep, and they will see him now in the triangle. They don't ping him out yet, though. They're saying that, I mean, KJ's going to come top here. 40R. And Canis Vulpus is going to go ahead and imprison. If they steal imprison and they can return it, they can get a good jump on it, but I mean, this is still a really good spell for them to take overall. I think that's kind of what 40R was trying to bait out.
Oh, easily one of the best spells, yes. It's the only spell he can steal. You can't steal the Arcane Orb, and if you're getting Sanities, you're almost upset if you get Sanities, just because you don't have that much in on Rubik just yet. But
Right. Oh, Caspile. I mean, no fear. He's just running in here. Yeah, he shows he's got more damage than
goodness.
Goat does. However, he is going to be in a situation here. He's got no creep to infest. He's going to go ahead and Magic Immune and run out of here with the Satyr. They're going to imprison him, though.
they don't have
I
the
mean,
Remnant for 3.
Yeah, it's 1500 HP Satyr here. They're going to try to get him down here. They throw out the Remnant. It is going to whiff, but Castabila will go ahead and just pop out. Since he's already got enough there. Goat's actually going to die to
Goat.
Roche. No, barely. Almost got bashed there. One bash would have killed him.
Well, they will see
Oh,
bottom
bot
and
lane.
they are moonlighted, but
You see that Tava's applying some pressure to Gremlo, but can't quite find the kill. No arena dedicated, though. I think if he did that, he would have gotten it. Mid lane.
they're trying to kill Tavo as well, but I'm not sure anything is happening. Yeah, they just got Pale Horse.
Yeah, I mean, they had the imprisonment. Pale Horse wasn't really expecting it, and they
Oh,
still
no.
actually get the kill on to Gremlo in the bot lane. And it was like I was saying, if Tavo used arena, he'd get the kill. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
He was waiting for his next batch of
that
spells.
one on there.
That's so sad. And something to highlight, this is not the OD I feel like we've seen before. He actually got
Imprisonment
worked
again.
by 40R.
Tavo.
Oh, no.
Throw him out. He's stuck to the wall. They will throw out a remnant. I think there's just enough damage. Crow has one leap available, and we'll get out of there. And Tavo will actually fall instead. I mean, the earned damage will find it, plus the sanities.
I think
It was like you're saying, Thorlicker doesn't really want it. So, yeah, it looks like they will get him. That's not his imprisonment, so he's actually just dead here. Arrow to fall, though, and they get him.
And these are kills the OD needs, because before this, he was so poor, and he still is very poor with those 2 keys who will be on the board at least. But before that, he was sitting, what, 600 gold away from his Meteor Hammer. This isn't the 7-minute Meteor Hammer that we're used to seeing, and he started with that crown in his inventory. This is a very slow burning OD at this point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, I believe he has it pretty much done now, though. He's got the other Void Stone. He needs to send it to the secret shop, as you can see here. Both are kind of lining up for it, but Caspile actually might clip it here. And he will.
Yeah.
And that had the
Oh,
recipe
no.
and the Void Stone in it. So for 3 minutes, you ain't going to have no Meteor Hammer. And I mean, even that is demoralizing in and of itself.
And this isn't answering the problem that is Kostabila is just going to continue to farm. He's going to continue to play with his Sange. And you did get this last pick Lifestealer, but you see SG, they're circling exactly where Arkosh are playing right now. And I don't know what Tavo's got flying out on the courier to him, but they just want to make plays. They
Might
got
be
the
the
top
Blink
tower with
Dagger.
Exo.
I imagine. He's sitting at 4,900, so it's got to be a chunky item like that.
Yeah, it is the blink.
Yeah, it's the Blink.
And a smoke up.
I mean, they want to show off this fresh new Blink Dagger. They're going to scan the bot rune. It's going to be top 40R. He kind of wants this. And there's no ward to scout it because this ward is not within rune vision. So they had no idea.
I see Goat. He's 6 though.
Oh, yep. They do end up finding Void Spirit. They skewer him to the wall. And they will steal, I believe. Was that the Remnant? Yeah, that's good. So that is one of the only good rule spells you could get from Void Spirit. I guess the next closest one would have
bottom.
been bot. 3-4 man TP here. They do not want to lose 40R, and in fact, they might turn this into
they
a
got
fight.
him.
There's the Blink reveal, but Pale Horse, he's still Mask Commander stuff at the moment, but will still go down. He knows he can't really trade into them at the moment with the arena going up.
Middle tower is under
And that's sort of the issue, is Luna is one of these heroes where every death feels so bad. He's trying to get counterplay up on these towers, but he's not the Naga Siren. He doesn't have that secondary unit to put pressure on these waves, and you see he's queued up the BKB, and it almost feels like it would have been better if he was a gyrocopter, but it seems like now he's just going to be dead for another 10 seconds, and he's not been able to get the space to farm this triangle. SG are just starting to run at you, and with this itemization from Tavo, it feels like they're just going to continue to do it.
Yules, Remnant throw out. That's a big Remnant, and I mean, lift the follow. Crow's dead. You steal sleep, I feel like you... I don't know. I feel like you would have kept Remnant.
And they see Gremlo. I don't know if they can catch him, but this is just a problem for Arkosh. It's hard for them to make plays around the map, and well, Kostabile just has a free game. He can just do whatever he wants. Play on his side. There's really no threat to kill him. They need so many heroes, and they really need to catch him off guard.
You see them drawing on the map right now. They're like, okay, they're heading up to you guys, and Pale Horse does have Eclipse available. But will it be enough is the question. They are lining up. They do have KJ in an interesting spot here, but he does have the reserve point for borrowed time. I honestly think he will end up specking it here. This is a great spot for borrowed time. He can't die, though. And they will end up getting it, and they, again, find GOAT. They want to keep going, though. Gremlo able to at least negate some of the damage out from Casabila, but here's the arena on the sidelines. They will drop Eclipse, but it does nothing, and they will steal. They will try to go on to 4DR, a solo Ravage, and it just amounts to nothing. Banishment goes out. Canis Vulpus will at least counter banish, but can't find anything with that one, and you can see this Death Prophet is just slowly chasing down Gremlo.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way he can juke this. Tavo to knock him back.
Yep, Tavo to come in there, get him with a good old collap, and they will get the kill. We'll TP back out, though, and the Exorcism not being available might negate the eventuality of this tower push, but going back to the original point, Casabile free farm, he could stand on top of the tower, and he doesn't care.
And this is the issue. In that fight, they were postured so heavily around the runes, they really felt like they were going to be aggressive on this Abaddon, but Gremlo got forced up the ramp away from both of his cores, and there's no punishment. Luna just pops her ulti to try and get any damage out onto the Death Prophet and the Mars, but at this point, it feels so weak. She's got all of these skill points in Moonglaze, in Lunar Blessing to try and stay ahead, and up until BKB, it really feels like she can't show up to any more engagements. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be controlled in the arena, and any more deaths are going to feel so bad, and they're looking again.
4DR running around on an Invis. They will see it with the Sentry. He's masking out for mobility, but back in the mid, might see a little bit of a tussle here as well. Arrow will land.
Top
Just
as
rage
well.
it, though. Yeah. Oh, they go back to top, and they will find the kill out on GOAT again. I mean, it feels like that's going to happen at this point, though. That's a lot of burst damage available. Meteor Hammer being channeled. Casabile will actually get hit by it, but the Dispel is nearby. And now they can just turn on Canis Vulpus. They will get the arrow, but again, Purge is up. They have another shield available, and the rest of SG are rotating in. Mask Command is popped on the Luna to try to farm. KJ might have found him. They do see the creep is going away. They Moonlight as well.
And this Abaddon just feels so good versus that combo. Even if you get clipped by the Meteor Hammer, this Lifesteal just has so many options if KJ's positioning is good, and it has been so far. And it really feels like you need to mess up really badly if you're Casabile. Oh, and he'll just
Remnant.
be fine.
Well, you can purge Remnant too, by the way, so he's not really concerned about this at all. They will jump in and try to apply some good damage onto him, but nothing will amount to it as immediately Tavo comes in with a blink, and they will find the kill on Canis Vulpus and bring in the jump with the follow-up silence onto Crow. They actually do get him with a lingering right quick from 4DR. BM tip as well. The next closest thing would just be dropping items and denying it, of course, but they will go ahead and get this mid tower. However, in this time, they did get the bot tower, and Gremlo putting the second bot tower to half HP. But, I mean, you're losing a lot with trying to apply whatever pressure you can, and 40 will go ahead and pop the Exorcism and likely apply some moderate pressure to the tier 3 if they don't just TP as soon as possible to this next tower.
And this Mars just feels so uncontested. It feels like he's really not scared of anything, and if he sees them use any of these abilities, oh, if they get Pale Horse again, oh
Yeah,
no, Gremlo has to cancel.
They're TPing in immediately. They will go ahead and drop the Ravage and the Eclipse
He's
to
still
follow
gone.
suit, but the Silence skewered to the tower. They will kill off Thorliker, but that's all that they're going to get as Pale Horse falls and Gremlo next to eat the dirt.
At the same time, they're trying to fight up versus Casabile, but if anything, they could just kill KCJ. He's just gonna get.
I mean,
yep.
They've got the Rage and the heal is there. KJ will go ahead and heal up for the time being with his borrowed time, but will be the only trade here. Casabile is kind of fine with this transaction. I imagine KJ as well.
And that's sort of the issue. You picked this OD into Rubik, no less, and the core is just able to find these picks in the side lanes. I'm surprised that Arkosh are having to make these desperate plays, but that's really the only option they have. You saw Pale Horse, he was trying to farm the enemy Ancients, he was trying to take their triangle, but in return, you lose two towers. Now, it's really got to be out defending this outpost and trying to get the game back in your favor, but you used Ravage defensively, you have BKB on 40R already. I'm not sure. This game is feeling like SG could just keep snowballing it and take all of the map out of Arkosh's hand.
I mean, I don't even think they really had a hand in the map in the first place. It felt like they, oh, Meteor Hammer. In his Vulpus, they will throw out a Remnant, but Castabile times it perfectly outside of the Astral Imprisonment there.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, and that's the issue with this Lifesteal pick. You have so much setup into the Astral, but every single time Tavo sees this Astral used in an aggressive manner, he always finds the pick, and it's actually Gremlo. He's MLS. He might just try to get the wave, but Tavo has been so on point with the punishment of this OD, and until he gets that Ags, he needs to save one for someone else and one for him, and
Pale Horse.
Tavo.
He reveals with the Mask of Madness while Tavo, yes, in the mid, but the creep actually eats
no.
the arrow, and they can turn this back around. They will TP at least one, and this is just to buy time because they are killing off Pale Horse in this top lane with the fresh Basher coming in as well. And Tavo, he's perfectly fine dropping this arena. He didn't end up dying for it.
And again, you have the BKB now on the Luna, and even mid, I watched that entire engagement. It just felt like a miscommunication. There was a Meteor Hammer channeled, he canceled it. There was an arrow that whiffed on the creep wave, and the Remnant hit, but losing Luna in these situations because he feels like he needs to split push, it just continues to be a problem that I'm not sure if Arkosh can really give away much more ground.
Oh, open wounds is the shard. Okay, that explains a lot. Well, they're going to have to give up a little bit of ground here because, yeah, they're going to walk into the Roche pit. They're going to drop the Exorcism, and, like, there's not much they can do to contest this. And as soon as this Roche is down, they know that something is going to get sieged, especially since Goat dies once again to Tavo and Thorliker.
It's just the sooner you make this decision to go get this Roche to almost fast forward the game, to keep on going. I mean, they're just doing everything perfect. They're doing everything right on SG.
Oh, bot lane.
And they're trying to split, but oh,
Crow is here. But the other thing is the rest of Arkosh, and by rest I mean two, are behind him. But they are going to at least claim the tower, and Crow likely to TP out. Nope, we'll find the Yules.
40R.
Just Soul Siphon up, they will get him. But the tower does go down in that transaction.
It's not even, it's just a freebie for 40R. He has Boots of Travel. He can be with his team whenever he wants to. And you would usually see heroes, you see them kind of gearing up, but I don't even think they can kill 40R. He would just BKB if he ever felt really in threat, but I guess we'll see bottom whether or not they try to go for it.
Yeah, they drop the Ravage and they channel the Hammer, actually. This could be a good kill, and then they'll drop the Clips, and 40R will die. However, they once again kill Goat, giving them a little bit of free reign to go onto this tower.
And now you've given away the bag. You don't have Glyph for another 50 seconds. This is at least a tier 3 tower, and they know they don't have Ravage.
They don't have Ravage. They don't have Sanities. They do have Eclipse, but that's really about it. They do have double imprisonment, actually. Eclipse is going to be there. Very, very dead-looking courier comes in. Dead-looking courier comes in. Don't know what this was, though. I think this might have been a SNY? No, he had that already.
Yeah, he
I think
had
it's
that
one
already.
it was one of the ultimate orbs.
And now, yeah, he got it delivered to him as well. As soon as the Death Prophet's up, there's only 25
Gremlo.
seconds left. If
I mean-
anything, the DP can look for the Luna, and if he finds him, it's going to be a BKB down. It just feels like SG have all these forcing plays.
Oh, they draw on the map as Tavo comes in. They will double imprisonment. Start the Hammer, but the return
triple.
imprisonment from the Rubik. They will be able to get out of this one, and that imprisonment actually is buying them a lot extra time. Like that is the big thing of this.
They have to
they're
be
not
so
done.
more careful. Oh,
They
no.
want to go for Candace Vulpus here. He's got Rage up on Castabile, so he can't get hit, and you just see this Luna just throwing as
Getting
many
kited.
wave and beams as possible. They do end up throwing the Eclipse here. Castabile losing quite a bit of HP to this Eclipse, but he does have the Aegis. I think he just remembered that as well. 40R coming in. He's got the BKB going, but there is the imprisonment. Allied one, of course, not
BKB.
the enemy one, and they actually put Gremlo to the low ground here, but Tavo, well, imprisonment again, all right. And they're going to go and start channeling the Hammer. They will find a good Hammer drop, but Goat and Gremlo to fall. Again, imprisonment.
Wait, that's a defensive one. It's not a different color.
Yeah,
It's-
it took a long time there, but they will end up finally getting this kill. However, they have the Aegis. They'll come right back. Another banishment going out here. Tavo taking quite a bit, but again, this heal
Full
coming
heal.
out from Castabile. It's just, what do you do against this? They got a full reset 3 times over. Oh, stop banishing. God, it's such a boring spell to commentate.
They
Gremlo.
have Ravage in 5. They need to be careful. If he gets another Astral, they
I
might
think
try
that's
to
what they're
sync it up.
buying
But
time for, but
Oh,
the
but-
arena comes in. They will need the Ravage defensive if they want to hold this, but the Casabile had Rage up. He's just clicking away. They end up getting Canis
Casabile.
Vulpus, and now they're going to end up getting Pale Horse. Grow is next, and Goat likely to just get skewered with a spear. As the triple kill is picked up for Casabile, they will buy back on the Marana. An
no.
ultra kill for Casabile, a Ravage, question mark, Gremlo. He's trying to get out of here, but they
that's
will
it.
banish,
They called
and they
it.
drop the GG. Go Rampage, quick Crow. Gremlo, are they gonna get it in time? They don't. Are they gonna get it? No, it's gone. Yeah, the timer broke. No, it didn't break. Actually, they got
They
it.
canceled their GG.
They
Just for
canceled the
Rampage.
GG so they could get the Ravage. Well, Theolacor will go ahead and grab the last one, so it's not gonna be a double down Ravage, but a Ravage either way, Rampage either way. As SG Esports will take the series 2-0 in a very dominating fashion in this second game of the series.
And just felt like SG Esports in this situation just were the better team. They had that last pick Lifesteal, which definitely threw a wrench into the plans of Arkosh. And OD is one of Canis Vulpus's better heroes. It's one of his best heroes, as a matter of fact. But I think they got a little bit too smart, forcing this sort of position 5 Void Spirit. I've seen the forward Void Spirit on Taiga stream many times, and I understand how strong the hero is, but they just weren't able to get anything. They weren't able to get that game plan going for them. Even Pale Horse, he was stuck. He was trying to farm, trying to get his BKB, and SG Esports were always there with the punishment. And just another fantastic performance out of Tavo, I think. He really put the team on his back, finding the key arenas, keeping the game really in their favor the entire time. At the same time, Costa Bile, just a beast, nothing he could do. Same with 40R. They just beast mode on all 3 cores.
It feels like for SG Esports, their big strength is in the form of Tavo offlaning on his more signature heroes. And last game, I believe, game number 1, we saw that was Mars was in the first phase bans alongside the Alchemist. So letting it through this one, I believe, I believe that's what it was. But letting it through this one, they let Tavo get one of his better heroes. Mars is just a really hard hero to deal with. And on top of that, I didn't have enough faith in the Luna overall. Like, the problem is that you want Luna to go for a combat straight up build. You don't want Luna to run into a BKB immediately. You like to see them get into the Manta, the first item, the Mask of Madness maybe, and then you see them going in for some light damage item afterwards into the BKB. But in this game, there just wasn't that option. He just had no farm, and at the end of the day, they couldn't catch it. And
There just wasn't enough time. Just absolutely not enough time.
Like, Luna is one of those time-based heroes in the same sense that they need farm, and it's kind of like the Naga in that sense, but it's not as strong as the Naga. These illusions can't farm solo because that's Naga's kit, is basically drop illusions, run around, farm, whereas Luna doesn't have that option. She has to physically be there, and the farming speed in comparison is severely different. But either way, GG to SG Esports. That is it for that series. Now, we do have 2 more series lined up for you today on our Dota 2 day. We got Team Unknown versus Dogchamp, another series that should be pretty good.
Yeah, very close teams, very close. Dogchamp actually leading up a little bit. They're again, same with these teams, right next to each other in the standings, and this is where the ones and the twos, who's going to make it to playoffs, this is where these games are going to start to matter.
Yeah, we're down to we're not down to the last little bit. I believe we have like maybe 7-ish more days left of just group stage, but I mean, every game counts during this group stage point because it's better seeding.
Definitely.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this Arkosh versus SG Esports series. Next up, Team Unknown versus Team Dogchamp. So don't go far. More Dota 2 NA action coming up right around the corner.